What's up, gurus? It's your boy Pablo, wishing each and every single one of you amazing gurus a happy Tuesday. And we just rode in to the very legendary Django Reinhardt and Stefan Grappelli. And I have an exciting video for you today. I'm going to be telling you about the magical time that I discovered this album, how I manifested it, and tell you a little bit about one of the greatest guitarists of all time, Django Reinhardt. But before I do that, I just want to say a huge thank you to each and every single one of you gurus who are already following us. But if you're not already following us, be sure to do that at Ask a Guru app on X and on Instagram. Follow your boy VDude triple underscore on Instagram. Subscribe here at Ask a Guru TV. But most importantly, download the app or sign up at askaguru.com and share your favorite music, books, movies, and TV shows, and you will get the most amazing recommendations to those lists right back from the most epic algorithm of all time, you, the gurus. So I look forward to seeing what you post. And without further ado, let's dive into the video today, and I'll tell you about how I discovered this incredible album. And it was, the reason why I tell you this story is because I just remember the the amazing feeling that I had. I felt like it was manifestation when I encountered this album because I just recently discovered Django Reinhardt and I fell in love with his music. He is truly one of a kind, one of the greatest gypsy jazz guitarists or just guitarists, period, who had a profound influence on so many amazing musicians. And he played with some of the greats. And this guy really deserves to be remembered for all time for his amazing music. So, actually, I think I should tell you a little bit about Django before I dive into how I discovered the album. So, Django Reinhardt is a gypsy Romani man who was around in the 20th century. He was born in Belgium, but spent a lot of his time in France, played all over Europe, played with some of the great American bands. And this guy just, if you, when you listen to his music, there's a magical quality to it. I just, I, you know, there's nothing like Django. Nobody will ever sound like him. And he had an amazing quintet and also really collaborated a lot with Stefan Grappelli, a fantastic, one of the greatest violinists, especially gypsy jazz violin style. He plays with Grisman Dog, who I'll do a video about, and Stefan deserves his own video. But that's just to say that Django played with some of the greats, and he was really the star when he played with a lot of these amazing musicians. And actually, a very interesting thing about Django is that he played a few different instruments, settled on guitar, but he was actually very badly injured in a fire, but that didn't stop him from being able to play. He burned large parts of his body and actually burned his some of his fingers, and he had to adapt his style of play in order to continue to play. And that actually helped him form a very unique way of playing. And he was totally virtuoso. And wow, what can you say about Django? Just such magical playing, really. And so I discovered him, I think, on YouTube or something. I don't know how. I used to go down really, you know, uh, life changing rabbit holes like 10 years ago, discovering music all over the place. And Django was one of those that I was so happy when I discovered him. And I'll never forget how I found this very album that I'm sharing with you right now. I was in Iowa, of all places, visiting my brother, and shout out to Nova. And I remember he took me to his, probably like one of the only record shops in this small town in Iowa. And we walk in, and I remembered, like, right before we walked in, I said to myself, I would love Django Reinhardt. If there's one musician who I would just simply hope to find, one record I hope to find in this store, it is Django Reinhardt. I was so in the zeitgeist, in the Django world at that time, and I still will always be. But he was the artist I was manifesting. I wanted a Django album, and I remember going into the record store, and they had good vinyl, and I was walking around, and towards the very end, I think I'm digging in the jazz section, and lo and behold, the glorious album. And I'll never forget the feeling of just like disbelief. I was so shocked and overcome with gladness when I discovered this album. And it was like I felt like the universe had heard me and had gifted me this album. And I remember listening to it and just being so glad, because I'm sure you can find a lot of different Django albums, but I don't know about this particular one. Maybe it's just the sentiment behind it, but also the songs on the album are so beautiful. And some of my favorite ones, I think my favorite song on this particular record, which I hope you all listen to, this song is Manoir de mes rêves. And my French isn't perfect, but I believe it translates to the castle of Django. And the other song that I really like is My Serenade. And those follow one after the next. And the only way I can describe it is that it is mesmerizing, it is magical. It will transport you to a world of just tranquility and euphoria. And I think there was something about the 20th century that produced some of the greatest musicians. There was just something in that time where you could be virtuoso. And I just, I could do videos all day about musicians from the 20th century. And I think in today's day and age, we're losing that virtuoso craftsmanship. And there's this chase of, hey, let's do the trendy thing. But these musicians will always be immortal because of their dedication, their skill, the purity of their art. And their music is it defies time. And it will always, Django will always be cool. In fact, there are festivals dedicated in his honor, and he deserves it. He deserves all the acclaim. And so I'm so glad to share that with you. If you've never heard of Django Reinhardt, I'm so pleased if I'm putting you on, and I likewise will just be so appreciative if you give me recommendations. That's the reason why we started Ask a Guru. Ask a Guru is for you. Ask a Guru is something that I have used and discovered so many great musicians, and I'm so, it's an honor, really, the fact that I am the one who has led and brought this app into the world. And this is historic. You guys are all, you can, if you're listening to my voice, you're part of this movement of ways that people will henceforth discover their very favorite music, books, movies, TV shows, and we're going to chronicle for the world all the gems. And so be sure to download the app or sign up at askaguru.com. I can't wait to see what you post. And also, you will receive the very best recommendations. Remember that every week we select an artist of the week to celebrate based on what you post on the platform. And also, we select a guru of the week. And last week, we picked our first ever guru of the week, That was quant trades, and we're looking forward to picking the next guru this week on Saturday. And that's what you have to look forward to. We have more awesome videos coming your way. Don't forget to like this video and follow us on X and on Instagram at Ask a Guru app. Follow your boy on Instagram, the dude triple underscore. And again, we can't wait to see you on the app. And have a great rest of the evening. I will see y'all tomorrow. Peace, gurus.